Power in numbers. Power in numbers. We're all in this together.
Should we turn the sound down?
Are you guys taking the whole row?
Where are your sounds?
So you people are not pressed, but you're in here. I was out there since 11.
And I was out there since midnight.
You just walked in
So
there.
we walked in and you're in the front row. Wow. Really? Are you a reporter of it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Those usually don't, they usually only grab Facebook.
I'm worried though, what about the phone calls?
I don't think they really go to iPads.
It is
Yes, he is. My husband is.
I think, is there a way to turn off your cellular for phones?
Yeah.
Okay, let's
The
see.
fact that we're divided is a result of the Trump administration. He's laughing at us. That's why we're all in this together. People united. We're all in this together.
That should be fine.
Not one bit.
Because I could get into the settings and
You
turn
get
off.
your chance to speak your opinion. I'll
Not
respect
only
that.
for the messages should be fine,
We're all in this together.
I think do
We're all
not
in this
disturb.
together.
You are all.
You were great on
You are
Friday.
all. No, I would actually like your
We do.
Our laws of
I am very interested in what you have to say. I think you have a well-rounded point of view. It's important to know there are some things.
Okay, so you're gonna turn the lock off. It should be fine. That's
Yeah, so he's grabbing all of this.
Hey Dan, I got your message. Sorry. Is it working? Can you hear me? Doubly. I'll hang out until it starts, and then I'll leave.
Can I ask you a question to ask Pam?
We're all in this together, right? We're trying. Got a long night already.
I'm just gonna ask you because we have this question.
Yes, I do.
Oh, you can back.
Can I give you my cell phone? Just maybe if you need anything, I know I'll be there in your place. It's 213.
I just need to make sure it's working right now.
They're looking at trying to get some cover near the gazebo. Yeah. Yeah. Or if there's another place where there's any power. Okay. Okay, thanks. Say battery. Did you bring that battery?
I looked, they had power back there. There's no power on this.
There is over there.
They're all the way far.
And we might want to plug this thing in. We brought the
I think it'll be okay.
Is there anything on this wall right here?
Did you bring the charger? I thought you were gonna be across the room, since you're not, you can tell me, I can ask you if I.
Now we're, oh, close. You guys, it should work out. Do you want me to show Susan how when it's breaking out? All right. But you should have more than it is. It should be. If you have 140, talk about right? Well, basically, you can tell when it's going to turn out. What it'll do. Right now it's on the and what that'll do is it'll like blink, and it'll basically look like it transfers over in that part of the screen. So when it does, you can open this and exchange parts. So this should be one right here. That should be one. And so when one runs out, you just take it out, put it back. Yeah.
But you're so close, all I do is move.
Okay. And it should be. Oh my god.
Sit down.
Sync them up really quick. I'll go through. And then both of them to me really quick.
Hold on. One second.
It's okay. You know exactly what it is. So let me ask you a question.
Thanks, Jessica. What do you think about this for right here?
Yeah, can you go any wider? Is that it? That's it. Okay, so then I would do here.
Well, I don't have an extra help.
The humans, there's no way. And then this one, you just
Some of these people give me some shit. I'm trying to help. Listen,
like I said, you
I'm trying to work with the city manager.
just make sure that they're
Work things out, show you how you can do what you need. Okay? And that's what I said. You understand? Here's what I'm going to do. I said, I'll take my post down, you figure it out. But then they said all the rules are waived. Somebody was saying all the rules. I said, that's not true. Here's what the rules are. And that's when I started getting beat up. But actually, those are generally extensive things that are generally set down. Fire department, sheriff's department. Well, then you can do it on the basis that
Is there a line where they're signing up comments? Because I don't want to be cheated out of it.
don't bring snacks. Well, that's a, you know what, that's. The first thing I tell my kids when she's got this is, usually, don't be a dumbass. After that, everything else falls out. All right, well, this is not an answer. It's a gift. Okay, fire stuff. All right, so nobody coming over there, right? Because the idea is,
rolls under your foot. That's his name.
One guy that was smoking weed, I was talking to him. Because I remember.
Minimize that and go to my settings? No.
Yeah, so that's a
Folks, if I could have your attention, please.
They hit it with the heel.
Sally Charette, you dropped your driver's license.
Sally, we're trying to get here real good.
Yes, ma'am.
What they're gonna do with the
Power of the mic.
I made a few notes. Oh, yeah. Okay, you have another set
I'm so sorry.
No worries.
Want to take a picture of all of you? Want him in there too or no?
Thank you, sir. And if I need to thank you.
Tell me when you're ready. I'm going to take a couple, all right?
Okay.
2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Thank you, sir.
Folks, if I can have your attention, please. We're going to start in about 5 minutes, so if everyone please find a seat, get comfortable. Make that 2 minutes. We'll start in about 2 minutes. So folks, we want to make sure that we fill the room to capacity. Everyone gets a seat. So if you're standing, please grab a seat so we can make sure we are full.
County.
Good morning. Thank you all for coming to my town hall. I appreciate you coming and being involved in, I just have a couple of rules. First, I'd like everyone to give a... This is very important that we have a good discussion. I expect a lot of things, and I expect different questions. I will do my best to answer the questions. I can tell you this, I'm not 100% expert on any subject. So if I don't know, I'm going to tell you, and we will try and get information back to you. Does everybody want me on the stage? Going on the stage. Okay, how's that? All right. So what I'm going to do is Joshua is walking around with a microphone right here. He's a little guy, you can't miss him. He's going to bring the microphone to you. He's going to control the microphone. My only rules are, one, he's going to control the microphone, and two, I'm going to let you talk. So the best way to do a town hall is let's keep this thing going. And let's ask questions, and let's keep a good dialogue. If you want to tell me a life story, I'm going to let you. And that's just going to be time. But the more questions we can get into, the better we can get a good dialogue. I can tell you over the last 2 years, we've done 17 teletown halls, if anybody's been involved in the teletown halls. And that's what we try and do in those. We do about an hour, and we want the questions to keep going and going and going, because that's how we're going to get the most information. So, with that,
Can we do a flag salute first?
we can absolutely do a Pledge of Allegiance.
Hands it over your eyes.
And we'll pick a veteran to do this. You ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
One nation.
One no. Okay, so we're going to try and get to as many hands that are up as possible. Let's go. We can. So we're gonna try and go from section to section and move around as much as we can. So let's go right here in the front on the right side.
And if you're in the middle, if you'll just step out to the aisleway, that'll be easier.
Oh.
Hello, Mr. Knight. How are you?
I'm good.
For the discretionary budget for this year, we have set aside $523 billion for defense spending, and Trump has proposed a $54 billion increase to that budget. This is half of our discretionary budget. Furthermore, we have over 800 military bases, and our defense budget is greater than the next 10 countries combined. I always grew up expecting conservatives to be fiscally responsible, but this out-of-control military spending tells me otherwise. Why is it that you wanted to fund a myriad of programs that benefit the most vulnerable in our society, such as social care programs like Medicare, Social Security, and even programs that allow school children to get lunch at school who live in low-income families, while we have to spend half of our entire budget for defense? How does that make sense?
So we just did the DoD budget 2 days ago, Saturday. We just did it on Thursday. It came through the House of Representatives. The DoD budget that came through was a kind of a CR. If you don't know what a CR, a continuing resolution, so that we can bridge to the next budget. That CR, as you noted, was very close to what we spent last year. Didn't have a big increase on it. What President Trump is talking about is a 54. That's not saying that the president's budget won't come down with $54 billion of cuts somewhere and add on to defense. I don't know how that's going to happen. Hang on. When the president's budget comes down, we will have the House budget, we'll have the Senate, we'll mold those together. There will be an increase to defense. There will. I hope that that is to make sure that we go to readiness, O&M, operations and maintenance, and making sure that we can get our pilots the planes that can actually fly, our brigades, the actual equipment that can work. Those things are, and I'll let you do a follow-up, I will. But right now, if we try to put all of our airplanes in the air from the Marines, we would only be able to put about 25% of the airplanes in the air. So that's a big problem. And that's been a problem for not just the last 8 years, but for a continuing time period. So if we're going to increase the defense, I want it to go to those things. Readiness, O&M, and making sure that our equipment is taken care of. Go ahead.
My question is basically, so we allocate $500 billion a year for this.
Actually, last year was 600.
Yeah, it was more than that, yeah. So we allocate all of this money, yet somehow we still can't fund those planes and whatnot? I don't understand the disconnect.
It's a good point. It's a good point. We talked to the vice chiefs just about a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and we talked about that, of how we can maybe save money in the military and also make sure that our young men and women are ready to go into battle if they have to go into battle and they have the right equipment. I agree with you, and that was one of the big issues that we talked to the 4 stars about. How do we save money in the military? And then I'll end it with this. When we talk about BRAC, I think you were talking about how many bases we have and if we could close them. We did our last BRAC, which is base realignment and closures. It didn't save us any money. We lost those bases, but it hasn't saved us any money. In fact, it's cost us money. So if we're going to do that, if we're going to do a BRAC, you've got to show me how it's going to save money. Otherwise, when you shut down a base, you hurt that whole community, that whole economic driver there, and you also change a mission, because we're not going to open another base. We're just closing that one and losing it. So
those people are in different countries. They're not in America. Those bases are in different countries.
No, BRAC. You can go back and look at the last 2 BRACs. 2 times ago, they decimated California. My post is no longer there. We shut down 40, 50 posts in Germany. But the white sign, she just looked around. There you go. I think you were first up. And my eyesight's about as good as about 10 or 11 rows. So if I call you ma'am and you're not.
Ma'am is good. Thank you for holding this meeting today. We really appreciate it. We have many people from Simi Valley here today. You have indicated in the past that you are pro-life regarding issues regarding Planned Parenthood as being part of your tenet of the Catholic faith. Is that correct?
I am pro-life and I am Catholic, yes.
Are you familiar with Pope Francis's encyclical on the environment, the Laudato Si'? This document by the Holy Father speaks of our responsibility as Catholics to care for our environment and to protect our natural resources.
Amen.
Yet you have voted to loosen or eliminate every possible environmental regulation that comes up for a vote this year. We have two of the largest environmental disasters in our district, Santa Susana Field Lab and Aliso Canyon gas leak, and Chiquita Canyon landfill. We have children who continue to get weird cancers, and you've had 8,000 families fleeing their homes to escape poisonous methane gas. Those areas didn't have enough regulations when those disasters happened to prevent them from happening. And now you are voting every single chance that you have gotten this year to further loosen or eliminate any new environmental protections. I would like to know how you could justify this behavior, especially knowing that you have the lives of every single one of us here. Every one of us is affected by the methane gas. Every one of us is affected by nuclear fallout, and it was supposed to be cleaned up by 2017, and we have seen nothing from you in terms of coming to meetings. There were 2 meetings 2 weeks ago for Santa Susana. There were 2 meetings 3 weeks ago for Aliso Canyon. You didn't attend any of those meetings. There's actually a bill introduced at the end that has just been introduced to end the EPA in 2018. I would like to get a commitment from you right now that you would not vote to end the EPA. Also, I have brought you a copy of the Laudato Si', the encyclical on the environment. I expect that as a fellow Catholic, that you will look to protect our environment for us. Yet you have voted for H.R. 26, the RAINS Act, which allows Congress to let a regulation sit on a desk for 70 days and then it becomes null and void. You voted for HJ Resolution 41, allowing big oil and gas companies to not disclose payoffs regarding drilling and fracking. You have voted to allow dumping of coal into streams in West Virginia. You have voted for Resolution 44, which amends land use regulations to allow drilling and fracking on public lands. You voted for Resolution 123 to allow the killing of wolf cubs and other taking of wildlife in Alaska for no good reason. And the most recent Scrubbed Act, which allows people like you to scrub our regulations. I would like to know what you feel about that.
On the one question you asked, I agree. I won't vote to get rid of the EPA.
Don't weaken it! Don't weaken it!
We'll go to this side.
To go ahead and let it sit on their desk for 70 days, and then nothing, it becomes null and void. All of these regulations become null and void.
But ma'am, I think you're taking the RAINS Act and you're just taking a little part of it and you're... Remember, the biggest part of the RAINS Act was that they were going to report to Congress. They were going to send a report to Congress. So what you're saying is, you want a bureaucracy to be in charge, but you don't want elected officials to ever see it.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. Well, then we will disagree on that all the time. Okay. Right there in the back. Right in front of you. Right in front of you. There you go.
Coming soon, baby.
Mr. Knight, I disagree with the woman who said all those things. I want you to support the agenda that's on the table. I want you to support our president. I want what has been laid out in his speech to the Congress. I want it fulfilled, and I want you to support it. This is what we have been hoping for many years. We've lost sight of one America. You can disagree with me, it's true. But this is what we believe in. This is America. This is America. This is what our country is all about. We have values, and we believe in the Constitution of the United States. I agree. We're going to each have to give something on each side. But we are Americans, and this is our country all together. We can't be divided, and they can't destroy us. If we, Democrats, Republicans, Independents, everybody, black, white, green, or purple, we're all together in this country. And Steve Knight is going to represent all of us. We're not going to get everything we want, but we have to be together. We're Americans, and this is all our country.
We're going to go back, try and hit everyone that we can. The young lady with the white slip holding up.
Congressman, closing the Medicare Part D donut hole is an integral component of the ACA. The donut hole is the amount seniors had to pay for prescription drugs before the ACA. An average of over $2,000 a year, and the difference between food and medicine for many. Can you guarantee you won't vote for any replacement of the ACA that doesn't include this essential ACA component that benefits not only the elderly, but the small businesses that cater to them?
Yeah, I think you've hit on a big part, and I know we will talk about the ACA. We'll take all those questions. The donut hole, for those of you who don't know about the donut hole, you feel lucky that you don't know about that. I do think that that's a big part of ACA, that absolutely we want to keep that involved. And yes, I want to keep that in the next plan. Yes. Go over there, I think with the yellow slip in the front row, I'm trying to pick people that I saw raise really quick, but if I miss you, I'll work around. I'll work around as much as I can.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
On February 15th, the White House asked the FBI to knock down any stories pertaining to an ongoing investigation into possible connections between the Trump campaign and Russia. Thankfully, the FBI rejected this request. Since then, Mr. Trump has gone on a tirade against the FBI. He has tweeted that the FBI is a dangerously porous agency that leaks classified information. As a former member of the Armed Services and the LA County Sheriff's Department, what is your opinion of a man that denounces the media as the opposition and that openly...
Good question. I love the LA County Sheriff's Department, but I was LAPD, so just for the record. I believe that the Trump administration shouldn't be involved in what the FBI should be investigating. Now, that being said, FBI has got to go out and do their investigation and bring forward that investigation so that we can see it. These things don't happen in a vacuum, and they don't happen in 1 or 2 days, and they don't happen on Twitter because somebody said something and now we're going to have an investigation in the next 6 hours. So I think that if there was involvement, then there should be an investigation, and I'll go one step further on that. A year ago, Devin Nunes from the Intelligence Committee went to the Obama administration and told him that there looked like there was going to be a likelihood that Russia would have something to do with political campaigns, with hacking, with all kinds of things, and they were going to open up a bipartisan investigation at that time. They did, and that is continuing on. So that investigation is still continuing. If you don't see Adam Schiff on TV, then you don't turn on TV, because he is on every day on some sort of a press conference. Now, the chairman is on also doing those types of things, but that is an ongoing investigation, and we expect that we're going to see something out of there. But the FBI should be doing their investigations, absolutely. And if they think there's wrongdoing, or they think there is something that should be investigated, then they should just go and do it. And I support FBI to do that. Okay, now where were we?
Right here. Thank you.
Hold on for the mic, hold on.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am.
I'm gonna let you talk.
I guess midnight's next.
Yes. Good morning. I arose to ask you, will you fight with me to keep the affordable health care? I'm passionate about the affordable health care because I believe that's why I'm still alive. I didn't have insurance for 10 years. I went to Palmdale Regional Hospital. I was told that I had gallstones, which was a misdiagnosis. Actually, my appendix had erupted. Had not my large intestines and small intestines formed a wall against the poison, I would have been dead. But because of the Affordable Care Act, when Kaiser asked me to leave 4 times, Kaiser's son said, I refused to go. So after I had a hospital stay, I was sent home with medication, and I had a return visit. That is why 3 years later, I still have Kaiser. Without the Affordable Care Act, they would have sent me to some county hospital I don't even know. So I'm asking you to fight with me to keep the Affordable Care Act.
Well, it's good to see you here.